A 7% close, $33. It is a beautiful week for GameStop. You know what stock we're talking about. And we are seeing some action over the weekend as well. And I assume each and every one of you guys are extremely amped for this week ahead. We do have Memorial Day. I believe it's a 3-day weekend. But we need to talk about how GameStop closes the week, how it's going to open next week. Because we don't know if it's going to, well, I'll tell you what we know. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn post notifications on, and drop a comment to engage the algorithm. First things first, 1 hour time frame. GameStop held its momentum with volume very strong, very healthy, pushing above resistance levels. There couldn't be a healthier chart. And as we closed, we saw the 1 hour close wanting to push higher right here at 33.08. And we had a 7% close on the day, and then we closed after hours a little bit green as well. The daily time frame, two huge green candles, bullish engulfing candles, absolutely ripping resistance off of the chart. There is not much more you can ask for. Finally, weekly time frame before we get into the goods of this video. 8 consecutive green weeks on GameStop. Absolutely beautiful. Not only 8 consecutive green weeks, half of those weeks were just an absolute spring. We had these hammer candles bouncing off the 200, building a massive spring for this green week that we've seen this week. And I believe this is just the beginning as we enter, yes, our first liquidity zone, and this is above 32.50. You can see these wicks up here, and it even wicked up here back on the week of June 10th of 2024. And now I believe we are going to clap that liquidity zone and come into the next one around 42, and I'll explain why. First of all, what are we looking at here? We are looking at GameStop bonds trading at 132% of their value. Now, you initially think, whoa, what does this mean? This looks good for us, and I'll explain it. This post goes on. Shout out to Reese Politics for posting the pictures. Buyers are now willing to pay nearly $2 billion to get GameStop at $30 a share. This is not necessarily accurate. Here's what's actually going on. Just to put it in plain, simple terms, the GameStop issued these convertible bonds that we talked about, the $1.5 billion. We all know that. Everyone's paying attention to the conversion price at $29.85. They're paying attention to that $38.80 or $38.81, whatever. The face value of these bonds are $1,000. The conversion option, each $1,000 bond, can be converted into 33.497 shares. Okay, what does that mean? That means that each share would cost the bondholder about $29.85 to convert. But that's where this picture comes in, trading at 132% of face value, meaning if somebody buys it for $1,320, which we saw there was a buyer up here. Now, given this is a very less liquid market, okay, that's something to pay attention to. They still only get that convertible amount of shares. Here's what that means. That means the convertible bonds, somebody is technically possibly paying $39.42 a share on GameStop, and we close at 33. Now, why pay that price when the stock is only at 33? Sophisticated investors are often doing this, like hedge funds or institutions. They're betting that GameStop stock will be much higher in the future, way above $39.42. They're paying a premium now to get the right to own GameStop stock later at a fixed price, $29.85. The bond also pays interest while they wait, so it's not just about the stock. And if GameStop moons, they win big. Here's what it tells us right now as retail investors. There is extremely high demand for the bonds, which means bullish sentiment for GameStop's future. How long is that future? That's the question we have to ask. Now, investors believe it's worth paying more now because they expect GameStop to rise far above $39.45 over the next few years or before the conversion date of April of 2030. So it's a leveraged bet with some downside protection. Bonds pay interest and can be held to maturity. But in short, investors buying these bonds are saying, hey, we're so confident that GameStop will be much higher in the future that we'll pay the premium right now at that fixed price. Okay, there are obviously some implications. This is a very less liquid market, But the fact that we're seeing it trade this high shows that trap that we were talking about. Okay, it's not just plain and simple right there. The current situation. Let's talk about the current situation. Will GameStop open up at $39, right? Because that would be the main question. You're probably thinking in your head, lottery stocks, are we going to open up there? I mean, are we going to gap up on the charts? Well, maybe, maybe not. Investors are willing to pay a premium to lock in GameStop shares at that high price. So theoretically, we could open way above that price. I'll put that there. There is hope for that. It's not off of the cards. But the stock and the bond market timing is a little bit different. The bond market front runs basically the stock prices, and it could front run the price in years of future value. So it could not be front running Monday, but why pour in now at 132% of the conversion price is the question that you get. And then obviously the liquidity difference. The stock is way more volatile, bonds are less liquid, and they often show demand from long-term players. Now, 39 is a premium. The price includes interest and income plus interest income plus potential long-term upside. So it's not an immediate target for common stock, which we just covered. And unless, pay attention to this, GameStop drops major news like buying Bitcoin or issuing more stock or announcing tech initiatives, the move may not be immediate. This is why it's so important to clear up both sides of the story, right? It's probably not going to open above $39 because, you know, they could be front running years out, but they're pouring in now. It's locked in at a much higher price than the stock, and it could possibly open above that if there's, you know, an announcement. Well, guess what? We have an announcement coming. We know we have an announcement coming. We have the June earnings. We have the board meeting with MicroStrategy. We have somewhere, hopefully, in between the Bitcoin announcement, which we're going to talk about in a second, and we have the June 21st OPEX, as well as the ETF rebalancing with XRT, which holds GameStop, which is shorted over 1,000%. Guys, if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Seriously. Now, traders reacting to the bond surge. So like right now, myself, retail, and algo traders seeing the bond pricing as strong bullish signals could lead to a FOMO rally. Okay. On top of that, GameStop is heavily shorted. Any sort of catalyst like this bond move plus media plus YouTube buzz could light a fuse, which we're already seeing. Hype and momentum. GameStop has meme status. The crowd could push volume. We're already seeing. We are seeing all three of these. I mean, there's not much more you can see. You're seeing the momentum. You're seeing the volume. You're seeing the FOMO. You're seeing shorts trapped. And you're seeing a gamma squeeze. You are seeing a gamma squeeze. Now, what's happening here? And this connects to it. This is another chart right here where people are talking about 340% short volume alert. This is what's happening. Shorts are loading heavy or they are trapped. The bullish momentum is still building on GameStop despite the short pressure. Now, if price continues to climb, this is how you trigger a short squeeze, especially with that 340% volume ratio that we're seeing. Now, we broke above an important threshold that during that picture, during that time frame, we're already seeing short sellers at that $32.50 level underwater. That comes to the daily chart where they shorted at that liquidity level. That comes to the weekly where they shorted at that liquidity level at $32.50 that I talked about. Shorts are underwater, bad, and they're adding on because they're trapped. Here's a rumor. Also, speaking of, I said I would bring it up, the Bitcoin GameStop. Now, Ryan Cohen bought 500,000 shares of GameStop April 3rd, 2025. A Bitcoin wallet was supposedly linked to GameStop, which, again, he said, she said, a little bit of tin, acquired 34,000 Bitcoin on April 11th, 2025. People are speculating, obviously, that Ryan Cohen purchased Bitcoin. Now, hypothetically, if this is true, you don't have to believe it or not. That would mean that Bitcoin was trading around the 83K mark, but it did range all the way down to 78K, I believe, and then up to 84. So either way, right now, depending on when Ryan Cohen purchased, hopefully in April, when this was announced that they could purchase, then we see that. And it's important to mention that I believe between these two dates, while these two dates are random, it's the 3rd and the 11th. I believe between these two dates is when we got the GameStop announcement where they're allowed to purchase Bitcoin. They announced it publicly. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just off the top of my head. Then we had Larry Chang post on May 23rd as well, logging for future reference. Institutional holdings, institutional ownership almost at 34%. Guys, I mean, this is exciting. I'm pumped. I'm hyped. If you're not in the Discord yet, I don't know what you're doing. We're always chatting in the Discord, chatting it up in there. We're extremely pumped in the Discord. AMC, make sure to not neglect this, okay? What I would say with AMC is it has, let me tell you, and it has let investors down. It has had weaker moves. It has had worse fundamentals. It has had all of the above. But let me tell you something. We don't know. It's not that I'm calling it off. It's not that I'm calling it on. We don't know how aggressive AMC can move. I'm going to put that out there right now. Yes, we haven't seen much from it. But guys, please do not neglect it because we don't know how fast AMC can move. I mean, this is perfectly set up like 2021. And in 2021, we had massive moves on the stock. And you really have to watch out for this. I mean, a quick 1,000% in just days, following up by another 1,000% or so. We don't know how high this is going to go. It's going to break. It could possibly break algorithms. Maybe they keep it down. But again, just be aware of that. Costs, keep an eye on it. Same thing with GameStop 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green weeks now for costs. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's building momentum weekly, testing the 200. If we get an explosive move on costs and we open above $6.80, then expect another big week for costs alongside GameStop to get us up to which I would give a price target of around 15 to 15.50. Overall, that is what I got for you for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. Enjoy your weekend, most importantly, guys. And yeah, it's insane. We are here. We've waited long enough. Let's keep this hype. Let's keep this momentum. I'm excited. And praise God, right? Lock in, subscribe to the channel, turn post notifications on, like the video, join my Discord server. It's the top link in the description. We have tons of benefits in there. I post my trades as soon as I take them. We talk stocks and crypto all day long. So if you want to level yourself up, have fun with the family. So many good vibes. Ask questions, learn. Get in the Discord, guys. Seriously, pop in. Great vibes. Also, if you want up to 60 free stocks, download Moomoo, free broker, make a deposit once you sign up, and they approve you. And that is it. I love you all. God bless. Lottery Stocks out.